Adversity is not a sentimentalist. And by that, what I mean is adversity doesn't care about how much incapacity you're suffering under and when you're trying to deal with adversity, you're trying to deal with difficulties. It's not going to lower its standards of brutality and nastiness and sternness and hardness and its unforgiving nature just so that you will have an opportunity to play or exercise your own game against it. It's never going to happen. It's going to be ruthless and it's going to be unrelenting. It's not going to care about your feelings. A sentimental person cares about how you feel. Adversity and hard times could care less about how you feel. All they know is if you allow them to, they're going to kick you behind and keep you down. And if you don't take the opportunity to learn from the lessons that adversity imparts, you will never, ever, ever achieve your dreams in life. Along this line, I want to tell you a little story about something that I experienced many years ago when I was a much younger man. In the area that I was living in at the time, we're talking the late 70s, early 80s, there was a beast of a karate fighter in that area, another martial artist. I was a very ardent martial artist at the time. I was into karate, and being a self-respecting karate guy, I knew this guy was the dominant dude, so I decided to challenge his right to be the top guy around. And he accepted my challenge, being a self-respecting karate guy that he is. So, on the appointed date and at the appointed place, we met. And I'm not going to lie to you, he absolutely dominated me. He had a far better game than I did. He was, like I said, this man was an absolute beast. You know, he hit so hard and he was so powerful and so strong that even when he threw punches and kicks at me that nearly missed, they still hurt. He had better resilience. He had better stamina. He had his endurance. He was just overwhelming. But you know what? Even though I left there that day, the first fight that we had, I was whelped and I was bruised and bloodied. I came back the very next day. And we went through that whole scenario all over again with basically the same results. I still got my butt kicked. But I came back with a different attitude the next day. I came back after I spent the whole night before figuring out what I had done wrong and then tried to use the lessons that I gleaned from that situation to beat this guy. And no, I didn't win the second time, nor the third day that I saw him, which was the very next day after that and the day after that. After 5 days, he saw me coming towards him on the fifth day. He said, "Thomas, listen," he said, "I've had enough. I am not fighting you anymore. That's it." And that was the end of that whole sequence or that whole series of contests. But the reality was, with each encounter with him, fighting him, giving it my all, and I mean I gave it everything that I had, I was actually gaining on him. He was not lowering his standards in any way, shape, or form. Each day that I approached him for a fight, he was just as strong that day as he was the day before, if not stronger, because he saw me coming back there with determination. And he doubled down. He was ready for me. Every day, he gave up nothing to me whatsoever. Absolutely nothing. If I wanted something from him, I was going to have to rip it off of him. And I came there determined just to do that. And I was gaining on him with each successive fight. His attacks against me weren't as effective as they were the day before. I was becoming more self-aware in terms of my technique, more self-aware in terms of my ability to withstand pain, withstand punishment. I was becoming more aware of his weaknesses, and I started exploiting them a little bit more. You see, that's what happens when you're dealing with adversity as you're trying to build the life that you want and to accumulate achievements. That's what happens. You're going to be faced with these obstacles. You're going to be faced with challenges, and some of them are absolutely going to do their best to kick the ever-living crap out of you. That's what they are there for. But if you have the right mindset, you have the temerity, and you have the aggressiveness, you can rise above that adversity, tower above it, and overcome it. I think that if I fought that guy often enough, I would eventually I would have beaten him. I would have beaten him. I was gaining on him. And you can do the same thing as you're working on building your dreams and you're facing the challenges. Because you see, Life is like that. When it comes to adversity, it's not going to feel sorry for you because you don't have the capacity to deal with it. So seeing that you don't have the capacity to deal with it, you have one very beautiful tool left. You can learn from your losses and you can learn from that butt kicking that you're taking. And eventually you will overcome that adversity. But don't you ever expect it to feel sorry for you. Don't ever expect anyone to feel sorry for you. In fact, the worst person who could ever feel sorry for you in a situation like that is you. When I was getting my butt kicked by that guy, if I had laid there on the floor and sulked and cried and did this and boo-hooed and all that other stuff, I would not have learned anything. You never learn anything behaving like that. You can only learn once you stand back up and you charge back into the fight. That is why you can't worry about what adversity does to you. Only thing that you can worry about is what you do to overcome what it does to you. Well, anyway, my name is Dave Thomas III. I just wanted to share that with you this evening. I'm getting ready to go to bed here shortly. I hope that you're going to check in on my channel. Hit the subscribe button if you like this video. Hit the like button as well. And I have other videos that are coming up. As you hit the subscribe button, I think there's a little thing down there. You can get notifications of every time I post a video, which is fairly frequent. Again, my name is Dave Thomas III, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you in the future and bringing you more great content like this. Thank you.